Hello, I'm Sam from Wiki.tv and I'm joined with Andrew Thomas, who's the curator of the festival. Hi Andrew.
Hello, Sam.
Have you enjoyed the festival so far?
I have. It's been great. Loads of people and the weather is fantastic.
We have got very lucky with the weather. So my first question was going to be, where did the name for the festival come from? But I think the drive-in explained a bit of that.
I think the obvious thing is look at the trees. We're right between the trees, but obviously there's a lot more meaning behind that. Okay. We want people to come out, leave their phones behind, enjoy community with other people, enjoy music, and the unique thing is we've got a little bit of natural science in the festival as well. So we want people to look at the woodland, look at the environment around them, look at the animals and plants around them.
Awesome. And where did the idea of the festival come from? Where was Between the Trees born?
Right, it was born in the village hall. It was a chance meeting of me and Chris Allender, who were in university together, both scientists, both did the same degree. Right. We met 30 years ago. I turned up for a gig in here which Chris had organised. We both looked out the windows and said, what a great place for a festival. And he said, I've been thinking of that for years. So I said, why don't we do it? And he said, let's do it. And that's how it happened.
It's a fairly unique mix. I mean, science and music is...
I think it's unique, although if you look what's happening in science, there's a little bit of a revolution. Brian Cox, he's got a festival called the Blue Dot, and it's about science. It's a festival for geeks. I mean, this isn't quite a geeky festival, but we've got science here. Green Man is a festival not far from here, and they've got something called the Einstein Garden, which is also science and bringing science to the public. To try and break that sort of science is scary, but it's not scary, it's just investigation.
Awesome. So how would you describe the atmosphere of the festival?
Well, it's fantastic. I just described it as a beautiful location with a pile of beautiful people, and I really meant that. Sometimes you say things you don't mean it, but people seem happy and they're talking to each other and it's just chilled, and it's lovely to see it.
I mean, one of the things I've noticed since being here was families. You know, there's kids, there's dogs, and it's a real good mix of people.
Yeah, I think the community benefits from something like this. We seem to just text people and don't talk to people, and yet when you come here you just talk to anybody and everybody, and you meet the most wackiest people who've got really unusual lives, and they're interested in different kind of things, and it just makes life a bit more interesting.
The majority of the music here is folk. Why did you decide to sort of go down that route?
I think it's difficult, folk. I don't think folk is a genre really, and I think folk just means popular music, so music for the people. Yeah. So I think if you'll find there's a mixture of music, there's a little bit of blues going on at the moment. So you know, we've got blues, we've got pop, we've got a bit of rock, we've got a bit of Americana, and it's music that appeals to everyone. There's traditional folk, there's not much traditional folk here. There are some elements of traditional folk music, but it's mainly contemporary type of folk, I suppose you'd call it.
This is a community festival. The profits and proceeds are going towards the parish hall. How will the local community see a benefit in that?
Well, it's a non-profit festival, so nobody's making any money on this festival. So all the money that is being generated is going to go back into the village hall, and it will fund other events. And obviously the community will benefit in the upkeep of the hall. And we've also got a charity attached to it, a mental health charity called Sane. So we're giving some of the money to that. Not a great deal of money, but quite a nice contribution to their charity, which is obviously aimed at mental health in older people. Okay. And I know one of the members, Chris, he lost a friend in his 40s or 50s with a family, and there's a connection there. So there's a lot more to Between the Trees than just music.
Right. Okay. And how would you say the festival is going to impact on the local music and art scene?
Every musician here today is an original artist. They're producing their original tracks. There's no covers here at all. Well, one or two thrown in every now and again. So these are artists that some of them are local, some of them are from Dublin, some of them are from Norway. So there's a whole mix of different sort of influences in the music. And the connections musicians make at events like this, and public get exposed to. We haven't got any great headliners. People haven't come here for the headliner act. They come here to listen to music, and you know, when you've got a musician and they've got an audience who are just listening to your music, that just feels great.
Yeah.
So I think that's the benefit to the musicians.
Awesome. Yeah. And finally, how do you see the festival progressing and going forward?
Well, hopefully. Last year was half the size of this, and we did everything in the hall. This year we're doing everything in the field. We've probably got twice as many people. So I'd imagine the festival will possibly go on 3 days next year, and a few more people. We don't want to expand it too big because it's a lovely field. It's just where it is. It's surrounded by trees, and I think it's just a great asset to the community, really. And hopefully the community will get behind it.